And the excretory system.
And the excretory system. Okay, good. Something we're going to be learning about today is the digestive system. Okay, maybe you can remember some things from last time, maybe last year when we learned about the digestive system. So, today for breakfast we are going to have some bread. Okay, so this is an example of the mouth. Okay, this is the mouth. So I'm going to put some bits of bread in there, and a bit more bread. I wonder if you had bread for breakfast this morning. And also we're going to add some beans, okay? Some beans in there as well. Yummy, delicious. Delicious. So inside the mouth, what's the action that we do? Raise your hand. Martina?
We chew the things that we eat.
Brilliant. We chew our food. And when we chew our food, we get like a liquid. What's that liquid called inside our mouths?
Saliva.
Saliva. Good. Saliva. So we chew our food. Everyone chew. 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 And inside our mouth, we get this. It gets all mashed up. And the saliva, this is the saliva, okay, the liquid that goes in, helps to mould all the food together, okay? So we chew, 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 and we get this lovely mashy liquid inside the mouth. And there's lots of good enzymes as well in our saliva, so it helps break down the food, yeah? How's that looking? Nice. Okay. So once we've chewed our food, what does it go down? What does it go down? What does it go down? Have a look at the diagram there. What's this? Yeah. What's this? Irati.
The esophagus.
Brilliant. The esophagus.
The esophagus. And what action do we do to make the food go from the mouth into the esophagus? What is that called?
Swallow.
To swallow. Very good. When we swallow, the mashed up food goes from our mouth into our esophagus. Okay? And it goes down and it takes a while before it gets to the stomach. You have muscles and things in your esophagus that are pushing the food down towards your stomach. Okay?
So how long do you think that takes? How long do you think it takes for the food to go from the mouth down the esophagus to reach the stomach? How long do you think that takes? Irati?
5 minutes?
5 minutes. Oh, it's a little bit longer. It's much longer. What do you think, Rocio?
10 minutes?
2 hours.
No.
2 hours to reach your stomach. Yeah, it's a long time. But this whole process takes a really long time. So, when the food gets down into the stomach, what happens in the stomach? What happens in the stomach? What do we have in our stomach that helps break down our food?
Gastric juices?
Gastric juices, brilliant. So I'm going to use some of this vinegar here to show the acid, all right, to show the stomach acid. So we're going to add a little bit of stomach acid here, okay. And let's mix that around a little bit more. Okay, so inside the stomach we have the acid, and also we have something called enzymes. Okay, everyone say that word? Enzymes.
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 And the enzymes get added to the food to help it break it down. Okay, so we've got some enzymes being added in the stomach now. Washing powder to show this. Okay, and let's give it a good mix around. How's that looking? Very nice. What does it look like? What does it look like? What does it look like? A bit like poo maybe. What else? Yeah?
Yeah. It's like when we do like
When we are sick. That's similarity when we're sick. Because if we eat something that isn't very good, okay, that gives us like bad bacteria, what happens is our stomach contracts. Can everyone show me with your hands what happens in a contraction? Good. So your stomach contracts because it's bad bacteria and you don't want this in your body. So your stomach contracts and you push that out and you are sick. Have a look. Lovely. Okay. So where does the food go? Once it's finished in the stomach, where does it go to next? Can you remember? Where does it go to next?
The small intestine.
Brilliant.
Very
Small
good.
intestine.
Small intestine.
Let's have a look at the
You
small
can see it
intestine.
here. You can see the food is here in the stomach with the gastric juices, and then it goes down into the purple, which is the small intestine here. Okay?
Brilliant. So what happens in the small intestine is we're going to add a little bit of washing up liquid, okay? Because we get something called bile. So we're going to add some bile now. This happens in the small intestine. Okay, let's add our bile. Mix it all together. And the small intestine basically works like a sponge. Okay, so the small intestine is like a sponge. So what happens is, this is our small intestine here. So it's going from the stomach into the small intestine. And all of the food is squeezed out, so it acts like a sponge. Squeezed out, and it soaks up all of the goodness. So the small intestine is taking all of the good things that we have in the food and taking it, all the vitamins and important things our body needs, to the large intestine. Here, and a sponge down here. So we're going to pour all the rest of the food into the large intestine. Okay.
You can see the large intestine in the pink here. It's a bit bigger, it goes around.
And it acts like a sieve, so we're going to squeeze down, let me do this with my hands. We're going to squeeze out all of the food, okay, so it's breaking it down even more. Breaking it down. Okay, so this happens in the large intestine.
Taking all the remaining nutrients and things that it needs.
What's the job of the anus?
The nutrients and the things we don't need.
Poops it out, exactly. Poops out all. So our body has taken all of that nutrients that it needs, all of the vitamins and the good things that it needs.
And then the leftover, the waste, goes out through the anus.
Through the anus here. Do we have some scissors? Yes, we do. So we're going to pour all of the food, okay? Maybe you could hold the bag a little bit here, Beth. What's that there? Or maybe scoop it down. It's going, yeah, this one, yeah. So inside the anus, we have something called bacteria. What is bacteria? What is bacteria? What is bacteria, Roberto?
The bacteria is something little.
Yeah. Microscopic, tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yes, that it is bad for our body.
Well, it's actually very good for our body. It's actually really good for our body. Without bacteria in our anus, we wouldn't be able to poo, which we have to do. It's really, really important. If we couldn't poo, we would die, okay? Because our body needs to get rid of the waste products. We have to get rid of it. So the bacteria is like a tiny little thing. You were right, Irati. It's like a tiny little living thing. It's alive. And the bacteria eats our poo. It eats our poo. So this is what happens.